Hello everyone and welcome to the Week 20 edition of Instant Replay, where I give you my take on the most controversial plays from the weekend. I'm Simon Borg. We start in Columbus, where the biggest talking point revolved around the penalty awarded to the home side deep into first half stoppage time, when Ola Kamara's tripped up by Orlando keeper Joe Bendik. No doubt to me about the call by referee Drew Fisher. Kamara beats Bendik to the ball, but there was some question as to whether Kamara was offside on the play, which would have negated the PK, and this freeze frame should be all you need to see that assistant Jason White got it right. And Fisher also nails the yellow card for Bendik. No red there to me, with the defenders closing in. Next up, Houston, where we saw a crunching tackle by the Dynamo's Jalil Anibaba on Vancouver's Nicolas Mesquida. We don't get a replay, but you see the referee Jaime Herrera pointing to the ball. Yeah, Anibaba got the ball, but to me he resorted to a tackle that endangered the safety of Mesquida, who gets up without too many complaints. And then an interesting play in second half stoppage time. You see the Dynamo corner whipped in, and it strikes the very outstretched arm of Andrew Jacobson in the box. No replay here either, but this looks like a strong PK candidate from afar, and the Dynamo players think so too, but no whistle was forthcoming from Herrera. It was a controversy-free match in Portland, where Ray Harrison on Twitter wanted a penalty called for this sliding grab by LA Galaxy goalkeeper Brian Rowe at the feet of Falendo Adi. But I don't agree. Rowe gets all ball. I thought the no call from referee Alan Kelly was the right decision. It was a 1-1 tie at Rio Tinto between Real Salt Lake and San Jose, but RSL had 4 different penalty appeals, 2 of which I think were pretty strong. In the 16th minute, it was a good no-call in my opinion. The keeper here beats Plata to that ball. It was Plata again in the 50th minute, and he has a stronger case here as Marvel Wynn has his arm outstretched, but referee Jair Marufo's right there and decides against it. RSL's best shout came in the 62nd minute. I think Victor Bernardes gets Burrito Martinez there, but Marufo doesn't call it. And then again here in the 74th minute, where Olmas Garcia beats Bernardes to the ball and gets kicked. I thought that was also a PK, but Marufo didn't. I agreed with Marufo on his decision to show a yellow to Tony Beltran after this foul on Alberto Quintero in the 30th minute, but some wanted to see a red for Dogso. I disagree. There's no question Beltran is the last man, but I think the foul comes so far away from goal that Beltran is not denying an obvious goal-scoring opportunity. To Toronto, where Felix Stukman took to Twitter to make the argument for a red card against DC's Marcelo Sarvas in the 28th minute at BMO. I'm not so sure. I think yellow was the correct call by referee Armando Villarreal. Sarvas is reckless with the way he goes in, but the leg's bent, and he goes for the ball, not the player, and gets it. Villarreal also gave a yellow to Drew Moore for this tackle on Lucho Acosta in the 54th minute, and here I would have been okay with a red for endangering the safety, given the force of the challenge and the fact it's straight-legged. To Dick's Sporting Goods Park, it's the 23rd minute when Kevin Doyle, in my opinion, risks big time with this tackle from behind on Dallas defender Walker Zimmerman, who's just dispossessed him. Referee Kevin Stott calls the foul, but no card is shown. Just minutes later, FC Dallas fan Jay on Twitter points out how Rapids midfielder Sam Cronin also ran the risk of a red card in the 30th minute when he extends the leg and directs the studs into the left shin of Mauro Diaz. I think Jay has a good point. But you know who was probably most deserving of red on the play? It's Diaz. When we slow this down, you can see how he goes studs up and over the ball here, then gets a stomp in, though I'm sure he'd argue there was nowhere else to land. The Fire lost to the Revs 1-0 at Gillette Stadium on Saturday, but they were hoping for a penalty in the 12th minute when Michael Deleuze sneaks up on Revs defender London Woodbury, who lets this ball go over his head. But that's a great no call by referee Juan Guzman. Both players arrive at the same time for the 50-50 ball. Woodbury wins what was a fair challenge. Now to Children's Mercy Park and the tackle that earned a yellow but I thought endangered the safety. This one by Seattle's Jovan Jones on Roger Espinosa in the 57th minute. Alan Henkel and Chad Smith on Twitter seem to think so too. Referee Robert Sabiga opts for the caution. Great no call by Sabiga 3 minutes into the second half as Jimmy Medranda beats Clint Dempsey fair and square to this ball in the box. Speaking of Dempsey, in the 22nd minute, he was fighting for possession with Roger Espinosa and delivers this arm to the neck face area. Dempsey doesn't get a card, but I think that at least deserved yellow for reckless play. And we end with the New York Derby, where there was a question about whether the Red Bulls should have had a second PK in the 56th minute. Mike Grella goes down way too easy there for my liking. Great spot by She's Walking on Twitter, who flagged this arm to the midsection by Jefferson Mena on Ronald Zubar. We don't get a replay and nothing came of it, but that one looked mighty suspicious. There was a red card in this one. It came to Ethan White in the 89th minute for a second yellow, although when we watch the replay, I think that's a real harsh second yellow to White. To me, Gonzalo Veron helped sell that one. That's all we have for this week. Thanks to everyone for a prolific weekend using the hashtag Instant Replay. We love when you do our job for us. For our editor, Will Walsh, I'm Simon Borg. See you next time!